Hey, Sports Porcher. It's your Hockey Jesus, and I'm back with Game 2 analysis of the Eastern Conference Finals of the 2025 Stanley Cup Hockey Playoffs. Well, I apologize for not being on last night. Honestly, I was a little tired. The accumulation of games has taken its toll on your Hockey Jesus, and I'm actually happy I didn't because I was looking over some things today, and I think I got some much better analysis for you before Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. So hopefully you're picking up this channel. If you are, thank you for hitting that button. If you haven't done it yet and you've just clicked on this and you're wondering, who is this Hockey Jesus? I am your Hockey Jesus. I'm a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, but I love to analyze all things NHL. So when I do look at things, I tend to look at it from a Pittsburgh angle, but for one thing is for absolute certain, I will absolutely bring you the truth. I will bring you the facts, and I will bring it straight from my heart. So that being said, let's get to Game 2 analysis of the Eastern Conference Finals. Oh my goodness. This series is over, and I'll tell you why. I have proof to prove that it is over. It's not 100% over. It's only 88.89% over, and this is why. Florida just dominates Carolina. It's really that simple. Florida coming out and getting 3 goals in the first period, holding Florida to, I think it was 4 shots in the 3 shots in the first period. Come on, Carolina, you're at home. You got to give those fans something to root for. I know as a Pittsburgh Penguins fans, when you go to a playoff game and you're just super hyped about being there and you're ready to let loose, and then you see a big egg being laid like that, it's hard for those fans to get back into the game once that happens. And they never really got into the game. 7 shots through 2 periods, Carolina. They just look completely dominated. I'm not going to go over the breakdown of how that's happening. If you want to see the breakdown of how that's happening, I'm telling you, you have to go watch Hockey Psychology. It's a YouTube channel. I don't mind plugging them because I think they do great work over there. They show a really good analysis of how the Florida Panthers play the game. They play it in such a way that's always in your face. And I thought Carolina, they're pretty structured when it comes to, getting out of the zone and having breaks. They have no speed. They don't know what to do with this. And here's why I say it's over. 1, Bob with a 960 save percentage. 2, Freddie with a 750 save percentage. That's Freddie Anderson, your goalie for Carolina. And Florida's 5 for 6 on the series on the power play, 2 for 2 again last night. That's going to get it done every time. I mean, you got Verhaeghe with 5 points and 4 assists, 1 goal. Sam Bennett with 3 goals, 2 last night and 1 assist. Evan Rodriguez, 4 assists. Let me tell you about Evan Rodriguez. He played for us post our Stanley Cup years, and he was meh. Honestly, he wasn't that great. He was good, but he was never really like this good. Granted, he never really played in the playoffs much, but him picking it up like he is in the playoffs is really something special to watch. To see a guy who's just kind of average and then when he hits the playoffs, just put it into another gear. It's actually very impressive. I'm very impressed with Evan Rodriguez. Is there any hope at all for the Carolina Panthers? Well, Sam Reinhart did get injured, unfortunately, in the third period last night. So did Seth Jarvis. If Jarvis can't play, I'm telling you, they're in big trouble. And here's why I say they're also in big trouble. Historically, I looked this up. That's right. I do it just for you, my fans, and for you new people. Maybe this will get you to hit that subscribe button. There are 18 games sent in the modern era. I count since 1981. It's really interesting. Since 1980, after 1981 season, 1982 season, they kind of changed around the way they called the Stanley Cup playoffs. Before it was, and it still was, the Prince of Wales Conference, but they never really called it the finals. They never really called it the finals until 1982. But before that, it was called Prince of Wales, and actually was called that. They gave the trophy away, the Prince of Wales Conference Trophy, until 1993. I digress a little because I think the history is important here. But so since that time, since 1981, only twice has the team coming back from a 2-0 series lead and taken the win in the Eastern Conference Finals. That was in 1984. The New York Islanders, they defeated the Montreal Canadiens after Canadiens took both games at home. However, this is why I don't think it's going to happen to Carolina. That's the first team that did it. That New York Islanders team was going for five straight Stanley Cup Finals, five straight, and they had to overcome a two game deficit to do it, but they did it. They took the next four games and they won the series and they lost the Stanley Cup. Just recently, Tampa Bay Lightning did it against the New York Rangers. Sorry, you Rags fans out there. I'm not a big Rangers fan, even though you have Sully now. Still not a big fan. Up 2-0 in 2022 and lost the next four to the Tampa Bay Lightning. And unfortunately for the Lightning, they lost to the Avalanche in the Stanley Cup Finals. So even if you did manage, so that means Carolina not only would have to come back from a two-game deficit, which would be the third time ever in modern history, they would have to be the first team to do it after losing both games at home. So it's not looking good. And of those games that went 2-0, 6 of those games were a sweep, 4-0. 5 of those games went 4-1. 6 of those games went to 6 games, 4-2. And 2 of those were the ones where the other team won. And only one game went to a game 7. That was recently. That was the Washington Capitals. Washington Capitals took the first 2 games against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa Bay came back, and if you remember, this was back in 2018 when Capitals won it all. Tampa Bay took the next 3, and Washington had to win the next 2, and they did it, and they ended up winning the Stanley Cup that year, their first Stanley Cup. So it's not looking good historically for the Carolina Hurricanes, but there's still some games to be played. I don't know. I personally think at this point it could be a sweep. And look, 14 games in a row for Carolina playing in an Eastern Conference Final and nothing. No wins. That's just an astounding deal. Also astounding is, as you know, with the 3-0 lead after the first period, Paul Maurice now goes to 29-0 when leading after a period in the playoffs for the Florida Panthers. It is just not looking good for the Florida Panthers. I just don't know what's going to happen after this. But hey, tonight we got the Western Conference Finals. And I'm looking forward to seeing, maybe Edmonton fix that debacle that happened in the third period. What other news I got? Just as a round out to this. Hey, if you're still here, hit that subscribe button. Really like to have you part of the Hockey Jesus, part of the Sports Porch team. Oh, third thing is IIHF finals are on this weekend. So if you can't get enough hockey and you still want to watch the IIHF World Championships, it's going on. Sorry for you Canadian fans. You got beaten by Denmark the other night. So in the semifinals tomorrow, it's Sweden versus the USA. Sweden actually has the upper hand in this game. And Switzerland versus Denmark. Denmark are the ones that took out the Canadians. Kind of wish that Switzerland was playing against the Canadians up there, but it's not meant to be. And the gold medal round will be on Sunday. Maybe I'll give you an update tomorrow, depending on what happens tonight. So, hey, thanks for stopping by the channel. Love to have you part of our team. And until then, enjoy the hockey, and I'll catch you in the next one.